How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video, and today going to go over all the LR fusions that are currently in the game. I'm basically going to be giving you guys my opinions on which one is the best and which one is the worst. And just because they are the worst, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are bad by any means. But I hope you guys are having a great day as always. And if you do enjoy today's video, consider leaving a like and subscribing if you are new. And basically, basically in this video, I'm going to just go over the fusion counterparts of the actual card. And some of you are probably wondering, is LR Goten and Trunks considered a fusion card? Well, the way that I see it, they are, because basically every single super attack, well, all the super attacks are fusion. So it's like, why wouldn't I include them? They are basically a fusion, but the name is just LR Goten and Trunks. So it's whatever. I mean, if you personally don't include them, you can just get rid of them and then just like pop them on. Or just get rid of them and then like make up the list from my own positionings, because there are 4 units in total. If you don't include LR Goten and Trunks, get rid of that one and you have an entire new list of LR Goten and Trunks. So it's whatever. But let's go ahead and get started with LR Goten and Trunks. And my boy Truth thinks that they are pretty underrated, and to be honest, I kind of have to agree. I mean, I think one of the reasons why is just simply because it's LR Goten and Trunks. It feels like a different fusion. I think people would have been a bit more inclined to like them, and it goes back to just any lead that people aren't necessarily that big of a fan of. For example, Super 17, not many people like that character, so it's like, well, extreme agility is extremely forgettable, so it's like, yeah, whatever. Like, to be fair, the majority of the extreme type leads in the game are just extremely forgettable, and when you're releasing so many leads at a rate where it's kind of hard to keep up, it's like, well, I'm going to be going for the hero leads just because, you know, they're cool and everything, but they brought out Super Saiyan Goku Black, was like, okay, I'm definitely more inclined to summon for him, because, I mean, he's like one of the most popular characters in the entirety of the series. But if you're releasing someone like Super 17, it's like, well, okay, it's not to say that LR Goten and Trunks are at that tier level, because they are way more popular than Super 17, I would imagine. But regardless of that, let's go ahead and jump straight into it with the LR Goten and Trunks. 4 key to super agility types, as well as a 100% stat increase. And they also gives 2 keys to extreme agility types and a 70% stat increase. 12 keys super attacks, skinny Gotenks or fat Gotenks. Fusion, which is, well, both attacks are fusion attacks. 18 key Super Saiyan Gotenks or Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. 12 and 17 key. 50% chance for either fat or skinny Gotenks. This guy has a lot of mechanics to it, okay, so bear with me. Skinny causes colossal damage, lowers attack for 1 turn. Fat causes colossal damage and lowers own defense for 1 turn. 18 to 24 key, 70% chance for Super Saiyan Gotenks, or a 30% chance for Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Super Saiyan 1 Gotenks causes mega colossal damage and increases his defense for 1 turn. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks causes mega colossal damage and raises attack and defense by 50% for 1 turn. There we go, that was a bit of a mouthful. So you have the mechanics on the screen right now, but honestly, it's such a mouthful. But the reason why they have, I don't even know why they decided to go this particular setup, so I'm even going to go down that road. But if we go on to the passive real quick, and then I can go back to the point I was about to make. So they receive a random amount of key, no more than 9 but no less than 3. Attack goes up by 120% when performing a super attack, so the 120% is guaranteed, and on top of that they could be getting an even further 50% if they transform into Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. The link skills are Z Fighters, the Innocents, Prodigy, Shocking Speed, Biting Warrior, Shattering the Limits, as well as Prepared for Battle. So the thing about his link sets, when it comes to the Hybrid Saiyan team, which of course is going to be his main team, is the fact that Shocking Speed is a very common link there, because you have LR Trunks, you have Ultimate Gohan. Shattering the Limit is a somewhat common link as well. This depends on the supports that you decide to run. For example, we may decide to run the Physical Rage Trunks, who provides that attack and defensive increase with his passive, but he also has that Shattering the Limit link. But of course, when it comes to the particular team that they are on, which of course is Hybrid Saiyans, Shocking Speed is a common link, and sharing that link with a decent amount of the other units on the team will instantly put them on 8 key, and because of the way that their passive works, they will be on 11 key like 99% of the time. So they basically want you to get the 18 key super attack consistently with these guys, or with this guy, whichever you want to go, but you know what I mean, with LR Goten and Trunks. So that means you will need a total of 7 key at the very least to get the 18 key super attack, but on different occasions you could be getting the 9 key, which will pretty much instantly put you on your ultimate attack. And I'll quickly go down here. The chance in the passive for each random key amount gained is evenly distributed at a 1 in 7 chance. So basically you have a 1 in 7 chance of getting the 9 key, and of course this applies to the other numbers as well, but it just gives you an equal chance of being able to get any number between 3 and 9. So it's like, you can't go wrong with this. They basically want you to get the 18 key super attack. And if I'm not mistaken, he is the 4th hardest hitting LR in the game. First, we have LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Second is Broly. Third, Majin Vegeta. And then in 4th place, we have LR Goten and Trunks. But overall, very solid. They are missing out on Super Saiyan, unfortunately. And when they transform, they don't get any additional links like the new LR Goten, new LR Gogeta, and Vegito. But they are still a solid card nonetheless. Now let's move on to my boy LR Vegito Blue, who should have been released months ago. But his leader skill gives 3 key to super types as well as a 70% stat increase. He raises his attack and defense by nothing. He just raises his attack and defense and causes colossal damage with his 12 key super attack, and greatly raises his attack for 1 turn and causes mega colossal damage with the 18 key super attack. So the difference between the two is that with the 12 key super attack, that is a consistent buff. So every single time that you super attack with him, he is raising his attack and defense, which is very similar to the Tech Vegito Blue. However, when you move on to the 18 key super attack, that's just something that lasts for 1 turn, very similar to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And it doesn't say here because they didn't update it for some reason. His passive skill is an 80% attack and defensive increase. Link skills are Super Saiyan, Warrior Gods, Over in a Flash, Power Stone by God, Fused Fighter, Shattering the Limit, as well as Legendary Powers. So he doesn't have any additional abilities or anything. But for a free card, I've gone over this before. For a free card, he is absolutely incredible. You can't deny that by any means. And of course, if you don't have the Tech Vegito Blue or the physical Vegito Blue, he is going to be fitting very well on Apatara category as well as the Realm of Gods category. There isn't really that much else to say about him just because he doesn't have any of these crazy gimmicks. He's a pretty straightforward unit. He doesn't have like counters. He doesn't like have effectiveness against all types. He doesn't like get multiple super attacks. He just gets 1 super attack, and to be honest, this is double-edged sword really. I think now, depending on the length of the event, maybe for something like Super Battle Road, the 12 key super attack will be a bit more beneficial. And the reason why is just simply because his attack stat is consistently getting higher, whereas with the 18 key, that only lasts 1 turn. And that's another thing that's not stated here. But if I quickly go back here, he gives key to himself with his passive, so yeah, at the very least, raises his key count by up to 8, and it depends on the amount of health that you have. So the less health you have, the more key he gives you. So at the very least, so it's, to be honest, it's another LR Goten and Trunks situation where they want you to get the 18 key super attack. Well, I'm curious to see how he performs nonetheless, especially at 100%. My personal Vegito Blue is at around 90%. I need that last loop, and of course, once he is actually released, I will be able to showcase him for you guys at 100%, and of course as a legendary rare. But now let's move on to Super Gogeta. He gives the free key to the fusion category as well as a 170% health and attack increase and a 130% defensive increase, or he gives the free key to physical types as well as a 90% stat increase. His 12 key super attack causes colossal damage, his 18 key, mega colossal damage, and lowers attack and defense. His passive skill recovers all of your health once, effectiveness against all types, attack and defense goes up by 150% at the start of the turn, and he gets free key whenever you collect a rainbow orb. Link skills: Kamehameha, Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, Fused Fighter, Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. Again, I'm going to be taking a look at the fusion portion, or just the fusion version of this particular card, just so that it actually makes sense. So of course, the way that you transform into this particular card: fusion dance after 6 turns, and your health is below 50%. And I've gone over this before, but if you want to just have a quick read of what this actually does, you can go ahead and pause the video. But the effectiveness against all types, you can't deny how great of a mechanic that is, especially on a legendary rare. Basically guarantees that every single time that he super attacks, his damage output is going to be relatable to how high that attack stat is, because generally when a unit super attacks and doesn't get a crit, their damage is way lower. For example, if I was to super attack with Super Saiyan 4 Goku against a tech type, the attack stat could be 1.5 mil, but he could only hit for like maybe 750k, because that tends to happen quite frequently. But when it comes to Gogeta, because like, and that's why I'm taking into account the fact that he lowers attack and defense, because it may not make them like that much of a difference, but lowering defense does allow you to hit a tiny amount harder. If it's great lowering defense, even better. But the point is, he has the effectiveness against all types, 150% attack and defensive increase. He lowers attack and defense, so there is just so much about him. And they want you to get that 18 key super attack. The only real drawback is just simply the fact that he may struggle to get it. Well, I say that. It's a double-edged sword, really, because he doesn't have Over in a Flash, which I've said in one of my previous videos, that is the most common link on that fusion team, because you have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you have Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Who else am I missing here? There is a extremely obvious unit there. let's really go over it. Even the Gogeta, which he does link up with, so you have, that's instantly 3 units. So Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, which of course is down here, in Gogeta, maybe even the SDR one if you don't have the Int one. So there are several units with the Over and Flash thing that is their main link, because Gogeta doesn't have Prepare for Battle. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks doesn't have Prepared for Battle. But then again, they will share Fused Fighter at the very least, so that is one benefit. It's not to say that Gogeta won't be able to get the 18 key super attack consistently, because he most likely will the majority of the time, especially because of that rainbow portion of his passive. But some units may struggle here and there, if you get what I'm saying. But let's move on to your boy, Super Vegito, and I have a Vegito so bias, but that's not the point. I'm going to try to be as fair as possible here. Use the free key to the Patara category, as well as a 170% health and attack increase, and a 130% defensive increase, or use the free key to Int types and a 90% stat increase. 12 key super attack causes colossal damage. His 18 key causes mega colossal damage and gives a 30% attack increase to all of your allies for 1 turn. Recovers health once. Counters normal attacks with tremendous power. Attack and defense goes up by 150% at the start of the turn. Key +3 whenever key is raised with rainbow orbs. Link skills come in with half Super Saiyan power, so by God, Fused Fighter, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. So, major difference is that he is on 2 different categories. Of course, you are able to run him with the physical Super Vegito, which is just incredibly insane. And you will be able to do the exact same on the Patara category. And if you want, you could even run 2 legendary rares next to him. And that's one thing that the Fusion team kind of lacks, is the fact that they only have 1 LR, which of course is in Gogeta himself. But it's not to say that it's a bad category by any means. It's just that the Patara category is way more stacks, as you can clearly tell. And when it comes to Ella Black and Zamasu, they are optimal, okay? I want to get that point across. They are optimal, but they don't benefit the ability to transform, because they are consistently healing. And of course, to get into that transformation stage, you need to be below 50% of your health, which isn't exactly a goal that you can push toward with Ella Black and Zamasu on your team. It's like I said, if you're consistently healing 15% of your health every other turn, it's just like, it's not going to happen. It's not to say that he isn't optimal, it's just that if you want to aim for that particular mechanic, it's not exactly the best thing to use consistently, if you get what I'm trying to say. But he is optimal, okay? I know a few people said that he isn't optimal, D3, but he is optimal, but he just isn't that great if you want to go for that change of mechanic, because he is still going to be hitting hard. Your LR is still going to be hitting hard when he isn't LR Super Vegito. But if you want to aim for that particular mechanic, it's just like, well, you're gonna have to most likely sacrifice the healing and end up putting him in the 3rd slot, or them in the 3rd slot, I should say. But overall, I'm not taking shots at D3 by any means. I mean, we can disagree on things, that's just being part of the community. But I personally think that running him on the team is still beneficial because of how hard it can hit. And the mechanic in general is just something that would be hard to obtain anyway, because you would legit be breezing past the event, unless it's like Super Battle Road, but this isn't going to end well, is it? I love my boy D3, sharing all the love. But regardless, Super Vegito with the counters on an LR, just why? I mean, if you've seen the calculations, well, if you haven't seen them, I should say, head over to D3's video, he covers them. And of course, they are on the Dokkan subreddit as well. But Vegito's like average attack stats like 6 million per turn. Gogeta's is like 3.6 mil, if I'm not mistaken. But that just comes down to the counters. Just absolutely insane. I mean, if you manage to get a additional super attack with the Gogeta, that is a lot of damage as well. But with the crits, the crits with Super Vegito and the counters, just absolutely insane. I'm curious to see how tough the events are going to be, because the events got leaked and they are still Super 2 events. So it's like, are you going to be making the events harder or not? And I don't realize, I just realized something. The order is already there. Well, might as well go over the order now. So in the first spot, of course, we have physical. Of course, we have the N Super Vegito. Second, we have Gogeta. Third, we have your boy Goten and Trunks, which means that in last place we have Vegito Blue, which is a bit of a shame. I was expecting a bit more, but he just doesn't compete with them when it comes to the damage. Well, his lead is inferior as well, especially because of the new Vegito Blue, which is why they should have released this man way earlier. Goten and Trunks, 4th hardest hitting LR in the game, and of course they are just an absolutely incredible unit overall. Again, because they are LR Goten and Trunks, I feel like people kind of overlook them, which is fine, but Again, he just can't compete with the counters from Super Vegito, but he is still an absolutely incredible unit nonetheless, and these guys should be coming out in the next few hours. Yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video as always, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Should I have included Goten and Trunks or not? I personally think that they should be included just because it basically is Goten. Gotenks rather, but they are most likely going to introduce an LR Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks card in the future just because that is how Bandai works. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next one.